G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Eno from Fantasy Take TV. Today we'll be going over my Game Week 6 review. It was a decent week for myself. Look, probably around about the average really, the safety score, and down at my rank, that actually gives you a bit of a green arrow. So I think I went about 200, 300,000 spots up, still sitting just outside the top 4 million. So hopefully can change that soon, but it was an okay week. I made one transfer, Perisic to Trippier, which was pretty guaranteed that Perisic wasn't going to start. Champions League midweek, not easy game, but Fulham at home was a pretty nice fixture, and yeah, good time for him to get some rest and then probably start midweek against Marseille in the Champions League. So I thought he wasn't going to start. Get Trippier in. They got a nice set of fixtures coming up, and he got the clean sheet. So a few things went my way, most things didn't, and probably for the most people, a lot of things didn't go your way this week. It's a lot of 20s and 30s and whatnot. But just don't get too disheartened. Like, it is very easy to make up rank in this game. I'm going to give it a go myself, and that's probably famous last words. But week to week, just forget about it. It is, at the end of the day, it is football, and things can change pretty quickly. Just on United Arsenal, watched that last night. I thought it was a really good game. Arsenal came to play. First 10 minutes, United were pretty much on top. We got a goal on the counter that was overturned, which I think the foul probably should have been a foul initially, but the ref didn't give it. And with VAR, they've been told to, clear and obvious, howlers, that's the overturned stuff. And I don't want to get into all that stuff. AFL, it's all been talked about recently as well. Funny, both my teams, but it wasn't like clear and obvious howler foul that you should turn over, but end of the day, they played to their strengths on the counter. Rashford, that's just his bread and butter. He's really good at it. I thought Eriksen was unreal, probably my man of the match, just the passes he was picking out. And then they defended quite strongly. I mean, we had our chances as well. Odegaard needs to learn to shoot. I'm just watching Mesut Ozil 2.0. He really needs to shoot more. Martinelli and Saka were causing them big problems, driving by, Malacia and Dallo quite a lot, but they held up pretty well in the end. Hey, made a couple of nice saves, and we just weren't clinical enough. So I think United, it's funny, I think they deserve the win to an extent, but I still thought we also deserve something out of the game. But, someone's got to win, and maybe a draw, but at the end of the day, I think we just can't win at Old Trafford. I don't think we have in a long, long time. So on to the rest of the games and my team. More specifically, Sanchez. That was really annoying watching the early goal go through in about the first minute. So clean sheet wipe straight away. And I guess maybe you're not sweating on it, watching the game like that. And I do enjoy watching Brighton play. I think they're really good and have proved quite a lot this season, especially in attack. They seem to be finishing more of their chances, which has always been the bugbear with them and their fans. But, they're in the top four. They've started really well. And I guess I'll get to Gross in a second, but Trent, that was really annoying watching him get subbed off in the 59th minute, missing the clean sheet. I'm sure it was just, I think Klopp said, I think there's a quote, just a lot of minutes recently and build up from a long, long time, and they're going to have Champions League coming up and blah, blah, blah. So, look, I don't know why you take your best player off. You probably, could have won in the game or had a part in it, but anyway, we move on. Cancelo, look, they don't concede many chances. City, that goal was just a really well worked goal and a great finish from Bailey, but that's all it takes to wipe a clean sheet, and that's what happened. Reece James, really just need to see Chelsea improve. I think Mendy's been pretty poor this year, and their defence's whole new system trying to, not new system but new players trying to learn the system. So Fofana's just come in. Koulibaly's really only played 2 games. He got suspended for one. And then Cucurella's been playing, and Chilwell came off the bench and really, got them the win in the end with his involvement. But once it's set and they've played a couple of games together, I think it'll prove. And really, Reece James is the only one you really want to own right now because we just know what he can do. Trippier, didn't catch this game myself, but by all from all reports and looking at the stats and watching the highlights, they really don't concede many chances either. Newcastle, I think. There was a stat out there that they just concede a lot of long shots, and if you had Nick Pope, I think he got a 12-pointer this week. 9 saves, 3 bonus, clean sheet. They're not actually conceding big chances, but they're defending in a way to where they just concede the long shots that they're happy to take or bring on. So Trippier got his 2 bonus, had a few key passes and whatnot. So they're probably unlucky not to win Newcastle, but they got the clean sheet, and that's all I'm caring about. De Bruyne, watched a bit of this one, hit the bar from a free kick. His cross to Haaland was incredible. He could have come away with more points in this game. So we'll get to what I'm doing with him and whether he stays in my team going forward. Foden, look, I've loved him for a couple of years now, but he just isn't getting the points that I think warrants having him in my team. I think there's cheaper options he can have. And I look, he is a City mid, and you always sort of want to have one because, and I've got two, but just because of what they can do. But I think Haaland's got to come into my team, and I think obviously someone's got to go, and it's going to be Phil, I believe. I'll speak about it later, but it would have been Kevin for another reason, but we'll get to that. Martinelli, unlucky to have the goal disallowed. Thought he was electric, as he's been all season. Should get a rest in the Europa League midweek, so should get a rest, 4 weeks rest to play Everton at home next week, and expect him to do well in that game. Gross, I thought was really good. He's working a bit more, getting back a bit more than I liked, but at times he was up top, and they do interchange. I think Mwepu was playing a lot more up the pitch this game as well. They sort of, Potter's been changing the formation, and they do change throughout games too, Brighton. They play a lot of different formations, and their players interchange quite a bit. But Trossard moves to the left wing back. He was awesome. Solly March gets quite up the pitch on the other side. Even Casado and all those. I mean, they've got a lot of good players. As I said at the start, really like watching them play. And then McAllister, on his set pieces, finished the penalty. The free kick at the end was nice. So it does suck that Gross isn't on penalties like he has been in the past. But he could have come away with a lot more than just one assist from a 5-goal game, and unfortunately didn't. He was on bonus and flipped out of it at the end because of just other players on his team outperforming. But I think the fact that he was third on his team, and ended up being fourth, so just missed out on the one bonus point, is really good, just having only one return. Trossard had 2, McAllister had 2, Daka had 2, and they're the 3 that beat him. So the fact that he was the next one there with just an assist, and the other goal scorers weren't above him, shows that he's going to rack up those bonuses. Kane captain, did watch a bit of this game. Could have actually had another again. He's been ticking along. He's, I think, 5 returns in his last 5 games, but the difference between him and Haaland is just too monstrous for it to have paid off. So look, I did have Haaland early, then I obviously wildcarded to Kane, and he's got me points and he's done well, but it just hasn't been on the level of hat-trick Haaland with 2 hat-tricks and then just scoring every other week. So we'll make the swap. That's all but guaranteed. What the other move is, I'll talk about. And Jesus thought he was electric, but just isn't resulting in FPL points lately. He hasn't really had too many shots, but the work he does in football sense is just remarkable, really. So, look, he may be one to go eventually when our fixtures turn, which is pretty soon. But I'm just really happy with the way he's performing as a football sense anyway. All right, we'll get to, that's my review. I'm going to do a big video later in the week. We've got a week now to the deadline. I encourage people not to make any transfers, and look, unless there's an injured player that you want to get out and catch a price rise. But other than that, I would definitely wait. We have Champions League midweek, Europa League. A lot of these teams will have players from, you don't want to transfer early and cop an injury that you have to take a hit to reverse or, change. But getting to my team and what my early thoughts are, I won't spend too long on this, but Saliba has Everton. My initial thought is Trippier, West Ham away, to bench him and have him first bench in case anyone comes or doesn't play. Have enough. I did actually, until Haaland rose today by 0.1, so he's 12 million now. If you had him from the start, you've got value locked up in him. I don't, of course, getting him back now. But you've got to pay 12 million for him. And then Phil Foden is probably the one I'm going to get rid of. So there's a few options here. There's Rashford. He was really good. I still have queries over when Martial's fit, which I don't know how long away he is. Will he play? Sancho on the left, Anthony on the right. Martial's better up top than Rashford, and he doesn't really play, in the number 10. So does he start still? Does he minutes get rotated a bit? It's obviously Anthony himself at 7.5. I think he's priced at. One man I am really thinking about, and I've loved watching him play so far, is Sinistero, who just looks everything like the exact Rafinha replacement that they were after and looking for. And Forest at home this week. I know the next week after is United, but he can sort of become part of my 12 players. So, that'll leave me 1.4 in the bank. But the next week, I can possibly bench him if I want to. Like Trippier will be coming on for someone with that Bournemouth fixture, whether it's Sinistero I take off, maybe, it is at Old Trafford. Could be Reece James at home to Liverpool, but you probably still want to play him. Could be, I have a tough time benching Trent and Reece at the best of times, even when they're playing each other. So, Sinistero plays there. I could roll another transfer. Then I can have 2 the next week after. Possibly look at moving off Jesus to, or Mitrovic, or I think I keep Martinelli just because of how good a value he is. But, Saliba will probably get benched here. Move off of Jesus with a free, and then I'll have another one to possibly do something else. I think this is the week. If you got Ward and Sanchez, Ward actually has Forest at home, and look, I'm not trusting the Leicester defence. He probably still concedes, but look, you maybe could go Sanchez because of save points, but not worth talking about right now. And then there's Gross as well, who has Liverpool at this current juncture, but he does have some good fixtures after that. After Spurs, Brentford, Forest. Do you want to keep him? Do you want to maybe just play Andreas for this week? Something to think about. But yeah, my 3 options are maybe a United boy, because they do have Leeds in game week 8. But Sinistero is probably the favourite right now. Just want to, get some more info and see who else I could possibly do. And I think Foden will be the one that makes way, because I think Foden will probably play Champions League, and then there is maybe a chance he gets rested or doesn't start against Spurs. So that's my team for now. Let me know how you went this game week. Again, look out for the tweet later in the week. Probably Thursday, Friday, for some questions that I'll answer, and then a stream I probably won't do. Footy finals still going, so the next sort of midweek deadline, maybe that's in a couple of weeks. I haven't really looked. And once footy's over, there's the ones that work where there's not anything on, and it's a good time, because Saturday night I'm not going to be doing a stream on a Saturday night before this deadline. Plus, I'm not going to try and compete with everyone else, over in the UK. So it's more for the Australian viewers at a good time for us. I'll definitely do another one though. I did enjoy it, but thanks for watching the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, leave me a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like 80. Pulling out the coupe at the lot.